Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Maria. Today we are making a ghost door sign. Okay, so the supplies that we are using today are from the dollar store. I got this board from the dollar store. I was gonna cover the back, but I forgot to grab something to cover for the back. But we're gonna flip it over, and we're gonna use Waverly black paint called ink, and we're gonna paint this like on the sides the best that we can, and all cover the whole back. Then we're gonna dry that up a little bit best we can. Then we're gonna move that to the side, and we're gonna paint the boo sign in white. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put that to the side, and we're going to let that completely dry, and then we're gonna bring our boo sign over, and we're gonna remove the hook that's on the side, that's the hanging hook, and then we're gonna remove any staples that it may have on the back. Okay, now that that's off, we're going to paint this in white with the Dollar Tree white paint, because I ran out of my folk art white paint. So we're gonna do this now. I'm not sure if it's because this paint is like more thinner, and but it was like, I don't know, like I did 4 coats on here and it still wasn't completely white. Like I wasn't happy with how it looked, because I can still see the brown underneath it, but I'll let that dry and I'll show you how that looks after. But then we're gonna move this over, and anything that the black didn't catch, I'm just covering with my fingers, because it wasn't too much that you can barely see it, but I don't know, I saw it and I was like, I gotta put more black on here. But I did paint this like this. I put a little bit of, I dried it a little bit with the heat gun, and then I brought my Cricut cutouts. Now I printed out a ghost and welcome home, so you'll see how I put that on there. Okay, so I got this transfer tape from Amazon. The reason why I got it was because it doesn't have, like, the adhesive on it is not that strong. So because this is like, I didn't want it to pull off any of the paint, because the adhesive from Cricut that I do have has that strong adhesive to it, and it'll pull off the paint. So I didn't want to use that on this. And I do use this a lot, because I feel like if I don't want the paint to come off of anything that I've painted and I'm putting that on, then I'll use this. But I put that on first because I didn't wanted to make sure that I put the words correctly. So I brought my boo sign back, and I still didn't like how it was looking. I did add a little bit more paint, cleaned up around it, but I still wasn't happy with how it looks. So I did add a little bit of the black paint over it, and I did this with my fingers. I did smear, because I could still see the brown underneath it. And that was like after 4 coats, and I'm like, ugh, did not like that at all. So I wanted to cover it up, so I added a little bit of the black, and even though the background is black, because it has that white, you're still able to see the sign. So anyway, I ended up going back to that. I did a whole bunch of stuff just to add that color to it, and I measured that on there because I didn't want to put the welcome sign on there and then the boo sign wasn't going to look right on there, because I guess I didn't want it to cover the words. So once I decided where it was going to go, I put my welcome sign on, I put my home sign on, and then I get my hot glue gun, and I use my hot glue gun to glue the boo sign onto that board that's there. Okay, so when I bought the sign, I knew that it wasn't completely flat. It had like a curve to it, kind of, but the girl was taking them out of the boxes. All the signs looked the same way, and I felt like this was the size that I needed for this, so I grabbed it anyway. But when I put the boo sign on, it only caught the one O because the B, like partial of the B, has a gap, and I didn't want that to come apart, and so it's like the bottom O and like the exclamation mark, it has a gap, so I didn't want that to come off. So what I did was that I grabbed the hot glue gun and I pushed it in, like I held it in place, and I just held it until it actually stuck together and it didn't move. And I did the same thing with the bottom part because I wanted to make sure that that sign was not going to fall off while it's hanging on the door. So I did put some hot glue on there on both sides, and I held it really tight just so it can stay in place, and it did. It actually stayed, which is good because even though the board looked a little curved on that part, the words actually stayed in place. Like the boo actually stayed in place. It was completely flat. There was no gap on it anymore, which was good. I was happy with that. So if you ever have an issue like that, you can easily fix it by doing that, or you can use a staple gun. I did try to do that, but my staples were not long enough to go through the letters. It only went through the board. Anyway, so I wanted to make something to hang this with, so I ended up using some twine that I had and the hot glue gun, and then I taped it off to make sure that it doesn't fall. Okay, so this sign actually looks good just the way it is, but I wanted to add a bow anyway. So what I did was I found this tool at the dollar store. I thought it was really cute. It doesn't have ghosts on it, but it still has the black and has silver on it, and I thought it would look cute with this anyway. So what I did is that I double layered it, and then I folded it in the middle. I do add some like 3 drops of glue, of the hot glue in the middle, that way it can stay in place, and because that's thin, it actually goes through and holds all the parts together. But I take it off the paper towel because I don't want it to stick, and if you see when I pull it off, it does start to stick a little bit, but I do pull that off before it does. And then I grab the in the middle, in the inside, and then I start to pinch it just so it can stay in place. So I also found some black and white string at the dollar store that I thought would go perfect with this. So I grab the string and I do tie it in place. Even though it's glued, I still wanted something to come down. Of course, I hold it in place. So I use the string to hold it in place. So recording this towards the end, it does get cut off. So I ended up adding the pictures of what it looks like after. But you'll see me tying the black and white string on it before it actually does cut off. So I apologize for that. But I just want to say thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it. It's actually really cute and simple, very inexpensive. The tool, the board, the boo sign was all from the dollar store. You can easily paint a ghost on there and write, freehand the welcome home. You don't have to use anything from Cricut. I did it because it was what I had and that's what I wanted to use, but you don't have to use that if you don't have a Cricut. You can just freehand it with white paint, and if you have a good handwriting, go for it. And if you can draw a cute ghost, go for it. But here I am putting the string on here just to tie the bow and have something coming down. And once I do that, I just glue it on the board like I'm supposed to. But thanks for watching this video. I hope you like it. I hope you try it. Please like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Bye.